put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning in studio, and we speak to a young lady, an author of a new book, Trudy Dana Joseph. The book is called 40 Plus and Failing. What a topic, what a name for a book, and we're going to get into that conversation this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Adanna. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning.
And you know, when I first heard about this book, what a title for a book, 40 Plus and Failing. Usually people like to read books about how to succeed in life and how to achieve all your goals and overcome your challenges and be the best. And here you're talking about 40 plus and failing, challenging societal norms and redefining success in midlife. And I want to get straight into that part of the conversation in terms of defining what success is and why people think and why you think crafting the book in this way would speak to a type of success.
You know, Adanna, it's interesting that people use the word success a lot, but what I realize is that too many people have difficulty defining what that really means. Because traditionally, we have an image of success that says we're supposed to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, we buy a house, we get married, we have children. But people are doing all of that, and yet people feel like they haven't accomplished anything in life. People feel stuck. People feel unfulfilled, basically. And so it's important for us to establish the fact that success looks different for everyone. What you might think success is for you might not be what success is for me. So it's important for people to sit and think about, what does success really mean for me? What do I need that is going to fulfill me on a personal level outside of all of those things that we tend to associate success with?
And you know, you're quite right. And you know, going through the book, it speaks about how you get to that place. And you know, I want to talk about some of the things you did to get to redefining your success, because I mean, we live in a world where we very much compare ourselves to others. We very much want the, you know, the white picket fences and a house like the Joneses, and we want to have the cars and the houses and the babies and the, you know, we want to have the perfect marriage, the perfect everything. And you know, you of course 40 plus and failing in those areas, however, being able to redefine what success looks like for you. What are some of the things you did or the steps you took to get to the place where you thought, hey, that isn't necessarily success for me?
One of the things that I had to do was to really be honest with myself. You know, it's easy to blame our circumstances on other people. It's easy to blame our past, our upbringing, but then that level of accountability that is required to really bring you out of where you are and into where you want to be is what I had to face. I had to, you know, admit some hard truths about myself, that I made mistakes, that I wasn't making good decisions. And so then it really caused me to look in the mirror and say, hey, this might not have been all my fault, but it is 100% my responsibility to get me to where I want to be. I actually went on a 7-day fast. And when I say fast, I mean a true fast. I ate no solid food. I survived on water, coconut water, herbal teas and stuff. And in those times where I was extremely hungry, I had apple juice. And so the fast allowed me to separate myself from my physical existence and really tap into my spiritual side, and that is where I really got the breakthrough.
You know, when you're talking about a fast, a lot of people don't understand the power of fasting. They don't understand how to connect, because I mean, you're fasting from food, so you're hungry, and all your mind could be on hunger. How did you channel that? I mean, you use apple juice, yes, that was for the physical part of it, but how did you channel that, oh my God, I'm desperate for something to eat, into connecting with what I need to do to move from where I am to where I want to be?
I'm glad you mentioned that desperation, because my desperation moved from my physical need for food into my need for God's intervention. Right? I, just like you, would depend on food for your existence. Because I couldn't sustain myself on food, I had to sustain myself on my spirit. When you're not eating, that is what will sustain you. When I was going into the fast, I said to God, God, there's no way that I could imagine doing something like this. And so I need you. And so what fasting also does is that it humbles you so that you could receive from God. It's an admitting that I cannot do it. I couldn't do it. I've been trying all my life to create this life that I really wanted, and I was failing miserably. And when I said to God, I gave it up. I said, God, I cannot do this on my own. I need you to tell me what to do. That is when I really got the answers that I needed. And so through the fast, he started showing me where I was going wrong, where I was missing the mark. And he also showed me that what I thought I was supposed to be striving for really isn't what makes a fulfilling life.
And you know, it's good that you were able to connect in that way and to get the direction and for the revelations to come, because sometimes we really deny that we are the ones responsible for the things happening around us, and we look to people. But this one has, so they should be able to give me and they should be able to help me, when the onus really is on you to get up and get going. And this is not just for the purposes of the book. I mean, it can be applied in our lives as well. And sometimes even if you go through the book, you can see where some of the things can be, you know, transposed into your own life. And in the book, there's a section that is a call to action. Right? You break down your experiences. You talk about some of the challenges you've had. You spoke about how you overcame them. And you also have a section in here where you're calling your readers to action in terms of giving them steps that they can take also to deal with things that they need to deal with to get to where they want to go. And, you know, I want you to talk about some of these things that you have highlighted in that section of the book as well, so that people can understand you really have to get up. I mean, things are tough. Life is hard. Challenges happen, and we wish that we were multimillionaires. We wish, you mentioned that in the book, that you said, if you were waiting to sit behind a desk as a multimillionaire to write the book, then the book would never be written. Because we always wait until the perfect opportunity to do what we think we need to do to define our success. So let us talk about some of the things you need to do to get up and just start. You're starting, it took place with for you with fasting. It might be something else for somebody else. So what are some of the things people can do to just get the ball rolling?
One of the things that people really need to do is to understand what their barrier is. Because if you don't know what's working against you, you will never get past what is holding you back. So I recommend that you work with a professional. I am a strong advocate for counseling and for therapy, because a therapist can really give you a better understanding of what is happening to you. You know, a lot of the times we tend to get stuck in our emotions, and so we're not thinking clearly. So a therapist can give you a better perspective on what is happening with you personally. So the first thing you have to do is to understand what your barrier is. And a lot of the times those barriers are associated with our past. You have to understand where you're coming from. If you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where to go. So once you understand what your barrier is, for example, my biggest barrier was self-confidence. I was always brave. I would attempt things, but that deep-seated lack of belief in myself that I could really accomplish everything that I wanted to do and that I deserved everything that I really wanted was lacking, because it was coming from a place of a lack of confidence. So once I understood what my barrier is, then I knew how to build my confidence up. For some people, their barrier might be fear. And fear is simply a not knowing of what is on the other side of what you want. Somebody else's barrier might be a lack of support, it might be a lack of education. So once you understand what your barrier is, then you could take the steps to move past that. And then the next thing is, you just have to get up and do what is necessary. You know, procrastination is another barrier. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is sitting comfortably where you are without actually having the drive and the push to get yourself from point A to point B. So you just have to just put that confidence in yourself, get the drive, get the motivation, get the support that you need. If you need support, support is out there. Sometimes you might have to pay for the support that you need, right? Because a lot of the times we are expecting our friends and family to support us, and we know how that goes. So sometimes you have to pay for the support you need. Sometimes you have to get yourself a wealth of knowledge that you didn't already have. The know-how. Go to a person who has done what you are trying to do and gain their insights and expertise from them.
And you know, you were talking about sometimes you have to pay, and how important, because you spoke about it as well in the book, in terms of investing in yourself, investing in building your character, your personality, your skills and your talents to get to where you want to be. How has that been applied in your life, and how have you seen it transform who you are today?
The transformation for me has been amazing once I made the decision to really spend money on building me. It really took me from one level to the next. A lot of the times when we talk about investing in yourself, we tend to want to spend money on the external things, but the internal things that will actually make us the people who we want to be is what we really need to be prepared to invest in. To get that book published, I had to spend a lot of money, right? And previously, I wouldn't have wanted to do something like that. I would always say to myself, I can't afford this. This is too expensive. I don't have the money for that. But once I got clear on where I wanted to go, the decision to spend the money was very easy, because then I could see past the expense. Yes.
You know, some of what you're saying this morning, all of what you're saying this morning is so very relatable. And I do hope that people will get their hands on a copy of this book, 40 Plus and Failing, you know, and it is available. Tell our viewers where the book is available and how they can purchase.
So if you want to purchase the book, you can go directly to my website. It's www.trudydannajoseph.com. You can send me an email at trudydjoseph@gmail.com. You can also purchase on Amazon. You just type in the title of the book or my name and it will be there available. However, I only recommend purchasing on Amazon if you are outside of Trinidad and Tobago, so that you could avoid the shipping charges and things like that. If you are in Trinidad and Tobago, you can easily make your purchase on my website, or you could follow my social media pages, Dana Joseph on Facebook, Trudy D. Joseph on Instagram, and just send me a personal message.
Right. And, you know, I do hope, viewers, that you connect with Dana Joseph to get your copy of the book. Go through the book. I mean, the call to action, you gotta take some action. You know, she really speaks. She's very candid about her experiences in this book and the challenges she had to overcome to get to where she is, and to have the evidence here documented in a book just for you to participate in the journey with her. And some part in the book she mentioned where the challenges you go through today is kind of like trying to come up with the solutions for somebody else's problem. So there you are, being a success in somebody else's story as well. So get your hands on a copy of this book and make your life, you know, a success, and make somebody else's life a dream as well. Thank you so much, Dana, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Adanna.
You know, bringing us the insight here. And I do hope that you enjoy the greater success, of course, 40 Plus and Failing. However, challenging societal norms and redefining the most important part, redefining success in midlife, because we oftentimes compare ourselves to others. But let us define our own success story. But remember, you must take actionable steps to get to where you want to be. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live.